How Chinese culture and Western failure made Singapore the world's richest and most fair society. Singapore's past was shaped by British colonial rule, but its Chinese roots would eventually shine through. This unique blend of Eastern and Western influences led to the creation of one of the world's most equitable societies, where wealth is shared and opportunities are equal. The journey wasn't easy, but the result is a nation where everyone has a fair shot at a better life. Today, Singapore is the world's #1 country when it comes to number of billionaires per population, and ranks only second to Switzerland in terms of number of millionaires per population, ahead of global giants like the United States, China, Germany, and Japan. This was, however, not the story decades ago, as when Singapore gained independence. Its young leaders, led by Lee Kuan Yew, had limited resources and platforms to build upon, but mainly big dreams. They aimed to create a fair and stable society where everyone had a chance to thrive. Their vision was to build a nation where everyone could own a home, own shares in Singaporean companies, and have a safety net that protected the vulnerable without discouraging individual success. They worked towards a society where individuals could take care of its education, health, and other needs, as well as create wealth without burdening future generations. Early years of Singapore. Imagine a Singapore under British colonial rule, where the Central Provident Fund, CPF, helped workers save for retirement. It was a simple scheme. Employees contributed 5%, and their employers matched it. Meanwhile, visionary leaders like Lee Kuan Yew founded the Housing and Development Board, HDB, to provide affordable homes for workers. But there was a catch. People struggled to raise the 20% down payment. In those turbulent times in the 1950s and 1960s, riots were common, and property was often damaged. But as more people became homeowners, attitudes would change. The government's efforts sparked a sense of pride and responsibility, transforming the way Singaporeans viewed and treated property. Singapore's path to home ownership. In 1963, Singapore elected Lee Kuan Yew as its leader, and he promptly launched a home ownership scheme through the Housing and Development Board, HDB. The scheme offered affordable housing loans, but the 20% deposit was a hurdle. 4 years later, in 1968, an amendment to the CPF Act raised contribution rates, allowing workers to use their CPF savings for the down payment and monthly installments. This innovative step empowered workers to own homes, and Lee Kuan Yew ensured its success by increasing CPF contributions annually, while maintaining a net increase in take-home pay. This painless empowerment kept inflation in check, and Singapore's homeownership dream became a reality. From 1955 to 1968, CPF contributions remained steady, but Lee Kuan Yew increased them in stages to 25% in 1984, allowing workers to save 50% of their wages, later reduced to 40%. The government also controlled land prices to build more affordable homes. As a result, HDB apartments soared from 3,000 buyers in 1967 to 70,000 in 1996. By 1996, Singapore had over 725,000 HDB apartments, with 91% owned and only 9% rented. This transformation enabled Singaporeans to own good quality homes, changing the society forever. In the past, not everyone was happy to move to new apartments. Farmers found it tough to leave their old homes with no modern amenities for high-rise buildings with bills to pay. Some even brought their animals like chicken and pigs into the apartments to raise. Many people were scared of elevators, and the Malays especially wanted to stay close to the ground to keep their gardens. Also, Singapore's real estate market faced further challenges like overheating and having too many new apartments at a time. This led to bubbles in 1982 to 1984 and 1995 to 1997, especially during the currency crisis. But the government worked hard to overcome these challenges. In 1989, Lee Kuan Yew's team also upgraded old homes with public funds, studying ideas from Germany, France, and Japan. This made homes nicer for just 4,500 Singapore dollars per unit, though it cost the government 58,000 Singapore dollars to upgrade each unit. Today, Singaporeans believe that owning a home is a way of life, and the country has caught up and leapfrogged developed nations. Singapore's healthcare revolution. How Lee Kuan Yew created a fair and robust system. In 1947, Lee Kuan Yew, as a student in Britain, witnessed the limitations of the British National Health Service. He also rejected assertions of a lavish Chinese medical care system and was determined to avoid the pitfalls of out of control and wasteful American-style medical insurance schemes. Instead, he sought a better approach. To create a robust and fair healthcare system in Singapore, his government took bold steps. They introduced small fees for outpatient services to promote responsible usage. A portion of each person's monthly CPF contribution was set aside for co-paying medical bills, teaching individuals to value their health care. By 1977, this contribution increased from 1% to 6%, covering family members' medical expenses too. Singapore allowed private hospital fees, but not outpatient clinics or GPs, to curb waste and abuse. In 1990, MediShield was introduced, allowing citizens to insure against catastrophic illnesses using their savings. Then, in 1993, the government launched MediFund, a waiver fund to cover medical expenses for those who had exhausted their resources and had no family to turn to. These innovative programs provided a vital layer of protection for the community, but only those who truly needed it. Society of collective ownership. Imagine a society where everyone owns a piece of the pie. In Singapore, workers save for retirement through the Central Provident Fund, which can also be used for investments. By 1978, people could invest in top companies like Singapore Bus Services and Singapore Telecom with government protection. In fact, 90% of workers owned Singapore Telecom shares. The government encouraged investments and capital projects by taxing consumption and promoting asset enhancement. This unique approach redistributed wealth and made many Singaporeans become better off relative to most other country nationals. Singapore's foundation of fairness. A society that encourages self-reliance. Lee Kuan Yew and his team promoted the Confucian value of family responsibility, resisting Western pressure to adopt a welfare state model. Instead, they built a robust Central Provident Fund, CPF system, which empowered citizens to take care of themselves and their families. With substantial savings and assets, people developed a stronger sense of responsibility and independence. The government protected CPF balances and assets from creditors, ensuring that homeowners' HDB apartments were safe from debt claims. This approach fostered a culture of self-sufficiency, where individuals took charge of their lives and finances. Lee Kuan Yew uses the allegory of Oriental yin and yang symbol, with two fish-like shapes forming a circle, to describe the perfect balance Singapore strives for. Parents want their kids to have a better life, and the government's policies encourage people to do their best. With a stable economy, low taxes, balanced or surplus budgets, and responsible spending, Singapore has created a virtuous cycle where citizens contribute and reap the benefits of owning a part of the nation. This balance has made Singapore a model for other societies. Imagine a harmonious society where people thrive and the government supports their success. Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video. Kindly subscribe for more intriguing videos. Lessons Untold. Relax, review, reflect,